everybody, we need your help.
We do. As you know, we rescued these two beautiful souls just the other day and they're settling in a tree, and it's so heartwarming to see their very early signs of progress. But unfortunately, when we were there at the holding facility, there are another two which mirror these guys. They're very similar, and after asking a few questions, it transpires that it's little one's sister and little one's sister's mum. So a very similar situation, but just a terrible thing that the family have been split up. So we're looking to you guys to see if we can raise the funds to reunite this beautiful family.
Yep, so I've spoken to the merchant and we have 48 hours that they're going to hold them for, so we can raise the funds. So between you guys, us and the patrons and what we have already, we're really looking forward to, you know, getting them out of there if we can. And it's just something you can't turn a blind eye to. I think, you know, one of those things, I know, you know, we're a charity for elite sports horses, but it also appears now we're a charity for everything. We're also going to be branching off into becoming a donkey sanctuary. So yeah, if you can help, we'd really, really appreciate it. Lovely Melissa has created a GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link at the bottom. And yeah, over the next 48 hours, we're going to do our absolute best to make sure the rest of the family come home.
And let's see what we can do. And we're going to get on with today's video because we've got quite a bit of catching up to show you with these lovely two.
Yep, so let's go. I don't know where to look first. There's so many carrots coming out. Oh, num.
Yeah, another bag. Gone.
Oh. Haha. Last one. That's it. You carry it out.
Till the next bag.
So before we tackle those donkeys, we have a little job to do, and that is the BFG very kindly ripped all the curtains down from the front of the stables. So where Ginger and Nanny are, it's a little bit warm. So we're going to hang some nice curtains up. But to try and give him something more to think about, we brought in a couple of toys, a nice big rope, and I think all of the legends are going to thank us for this one. And I actually think he's going to love it. So let's go and give these out, and then we have some special brushes to try and work our way through a bit more of that coat. Let's go. So here we are with Mummy and Baby, who's standing behind me, and she's intrigued. She's smelling my legs and wants to know what's going on, and we're getting closer and closer every time. And she actually prefers to be handled, Baby, without being sort of restricted with a head collar, so I think that's the way we're going to go for the time being. But Mummy's had a little bit of a makeover, and I've taken off some of her big mats. So a lot of you said, can we clip them, could we get the mats off? It's actually part of the breed are supposed to look like that within reason, I think, and I think there's sort of a humane element that you have to cross, and unfortunately hers had been let to go too far. So what it's done is it's actually damaged her skin. And all over she had tiny little pockets of lice eggs. So thankfully they're not actually live. So whether they're laying there dormant or they were going to wake up at some point, I don't know. But I managed to get them all off of the top half of her body. We're just now working on the bottom part. But if I show you here, if I get Nick to walk round, her coat is actually extremely long. So this is just one strand. So it's got to be 3 or 4 inches here, and then further down it can be up to sort of 5 to 6 inches long. And that's how it would normally lay all over her body, and then it would twist into sort of dreadlocks almost. But what's happened is it's twisted into the dreadlocks, but then it's also matted up and it's got all thorns and dirt, and where she's laid down, it all got padded on. So as you saw when we got her off the horse box, they weren't dreadlocks, they were big clumps that were very tight on her skin. So if Baby will let me in and show you.
I think you just need to mention about the haircut on Baby and the little...
Oh, all right. So yes, Baby has had a fringe trim, as you can see, and I think it's a rather gorgeous look, if I say so myself, but she couldn't see because they were completely over her eyes, and because we haven't been able to catch her, and I've had scissors like obviously near her eyes, I'm being very, very careful. So I managed to just snip enough off so she can see, but she's got quite a bad eye infection here. But she's getting better all of the time. So now she can see me. I think it makes a big difference. So yes, she has had a bit of a, straight off the top.
And she had a really bad shoulder there.
Yeah, so here she had an awful mat on there, which actually had caused her she couldn't walk properly. She couldn't release her legs properly. So she actually had one on both sides. And I'm guessing that's probably where she's been itching, and she's been rubbing continuously like on a pole or a tree. So I've taken those off. So this will all grow back. This here on Baby is actually quite loose, so I'm going to try and work my way through that so she gets the traditional dreads rather than the matted look that she's getting at the moment. So Mummy, if we go over here, if Nick just stands up and comes over, I'll walk her. You're not letting us near your Mummy, are you? You'll be okay.
But it is softly, because we just got to get them confident to get round them.
That's right. So here you can see. So I've left as much as the hair on as I can, but I've just trimmed off the big old dread at the end. So all of this is nice and soft now, and she's had a really good groom and a really good itch. And we've managed to get rid of most of the fly eggs, and we've treated her as well. So hopefully she's going to be in a much better place in the next couple of days. But as I say, this bit under here is unbelievable. I'm going to have to try and find a way to get, you can just make it out here. Hold on, I'm going to let go of her head for a second and hope she... So this is all a mat. And it goes all the way underneath, and it's like a pad right underneath her tummy, and it's very, very tight. So we need to take this off. But she's definitely in a better place than she was, and it is really, really slowly working with her, and making her feel better. But I think she feels tons better already. And she needs to put on quite a lot of weight. She's lost an awful lot of weight, but that's because she's still feeding Baby. So Baby's 13 months old now and should have well and truly been weaned a long time ago. But obviously the survival instinct kicked in and Mummy thought of Baby first. So yeah, it's a bit of a sad tale, but she's in a good place now. So some of you mentioned as well here, so this actually is an indentation on her nose, and it's where the head collar sat for so long, and there is actually a big dent here. So obviously prizing the head collar off yesterday, we're just very lucky it wasn't sore. It is just it's like a bit like when you wear a ring for a long period of time, it's just been there. So it's obviously not been removed. And also here underneath, if the Baby's going to let you see, mind now little lady, she's got a big growth here. It's not painful and it doesn't seem to bother her, but we will get it checked by the vet and just make sure it isn't anything untoward. But other than that, she's all right, aren't you? Good girl. So it's the end of another video, a very, very hot video. And yeah, it's time to go and have a nice cold drink and a dip in a cold bath, I think.
A hose down. And for these guys, it's lovely. They've got that shade, as you can see, and they are in what was the secret garden. And before that, it's had many animals. We've had pigs and dogs and sheep and everything living in here. But it's fantastic for them. It's really close to the house and they're getting the feel for all the family and what's going on. I think it's an ideal spot for them and it's working out really, really well.
Yes, because ultimately they'll be able to see the other donkeys when they're out of quarantine, and also we're going to do like a little pathway that runs down to their field so they can have the best of both worlds. They can be in, they can be out here with a little shelter, or they can be down in the field. So I think it'll be good. They can come
and go.
Yeah, and hopefully if we manage to pull it off and get the sister and the other lovely family member, there'll be quite a few donkeys in here. So yeah, the donkey sanctuary has officially opened.
They're even bigger than the Moon family now, so they've definitely taken over. But it's lovely to see, and as I mentioned earlier, just to be able to give them that opportunity is one thing, but then to share with you guys them just start to come out of their shells and really, as with all the animals, you know, to feel that they're okay and the future's going to be all right must be such a relief. But I think at the moment there is a little bit of imbalance, but hopefully when the family are reunited, it'll all be good. So on that note, we'll say stay magical and we'll see you very soon.
We will. Don't forget the link, Melissa's link, if you want to help, is going to be in the description and on the top pin comment. And
as we said before, thank you all so much for your support, for your kind comments, for liking, for subscribing, and just telling people about what we do and why we do what we do for all the animals, whether at the very top of the equestrian sport or the beautiful donkeys.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
The flowers bloom in springtime, the leaves fly in the fall, but we have one another through the changes.